this is what happens. Remember, the mind is our greatest tool. So when we can use our mind to shift our perception within the illusion, then you're going to begin to wake up. And then you're going to begin to say, well, what do I really want? Right? Because remember, this is all about what do you want? Lightness or dark? Ignorance or knowledge? All of those glasses, those rose-colored glasses we have in front of us, make it very hard to know what you really do want. And today, we're going to address something from the Course about what you really want. This is actually a very important part. It's all important, but this is an important part of the Course. And I know that it will help you because you're always asked, you're always asked in your metaphysics or your spiritual life, what do you really want? What do you really want? What do you really want? Right? Can you relate to that? What do you really want? So in this section, he addresses it right here, So if you have your Course in Miracles, you can turn to chapter 14 and it's section 7, chapter 14, section 7. All right? What do you want? Light or darkness? Knowledge or ignorance is yours, but not both. Opposites must be brought together, but not kept apart, for their separation is only in your mind, and they are reconciled by union, as you are. In union, everything that is not real must disappear, for truth is union. Okay, so let's just stop right there. So what do you really want? Right away. What do you really want? Light or darkness? Knowledge or ignorance? They are both yours. You can either stay ignorant or you can gain knowledge. It's very basic. Now, they are yours, but not both. Opposites, light and darkness, must be brought together and not kept apart, for their separation is only in your mind. Their separation is only in your mind, which is very interesting. So light and darkness, we say good, bad, light, dark, right? So in our mind, we separate. Yes, Tiffany. We separate. And when we separate, all suffering on some level comes from a form of separation. So when we separate, then we believe we can have one or the other. But the truth here is that separation is only in your mind and they are reconciled by union as you are. So separation is what keeps us from our connection with God, source, and love, right? So you think to yourself, do I want love? Do I want love? Do I want fear? Do I want ignorance? Do I want, or do I want knowledge, right? So in union, everything that is not real must disappear. So how do I explain this? So when we are labeling things, this is good, this is bad, this is light, this is dark, we're immediately creating duality. We're immediately creating this sense that there's these two other things. Now, you have to understand that A Course in Miracles is a non-duality teaching because it states very clearly that only what is real, only love is real. So when you say love and fear, we have to, let me back up a little bit. The Course itself is speaking to us within the illusion so that we can then break free of the illusion. Do you understand? So it has to kind of talk to us a little bit in duality so we can move beyond duality because only love is real. So, but we don't know that yet. We haven't been acclimated to love yet. Let me take that back. We're always acclimated to love, but we're not aware of it. Remember, the Course in Miracles says love cannot be taught, but it can be taught. What are the blocks? To identify the blocks to the presence of love in our life, which is our natural inheritance. That comes from the introduction of A Course in Miracles, right? So, everything that is not real must disappear. So, only love is real. Only love is real. For truth is union. So, when things come together, you don't see bad, you don't see good. You see what? Love. Take a deep breath. You see love. Only love. One of the lines in the Course in Miracles says, when you want only love, you will see only love. As darkness disappears in light, so ignorance fades away when knowledge dawns. It's so obvious. If there's a dark room and you turn on the light, what happens? It all becomes light, right? When knowledge comes into ignorance, then it's knowledge. This is so simple, right? Perception is the medium by which ignorance is brought to knowledge. Yet the perception must be without deceit. For otherwise it becomes the messenger of ignorance rather than a helper in the search for the truth. So, perception is the medium by which ignorance is brought to knowledge. What did I just say? If you can change your perception around something that's bad or dark, you can see the truth. For example, when you're judging someone for not being what you think they are, you're not seeing the truth in them. So by your perception, you can change that. You can change it through your perception. That is one of our greatest tools. A miracle is a shift in your perception. So when you can change your perception, everything changes, right? Remember, the Course in Miracles says, seek not to change the world, but seek what? To change your mind about the world. And when you change your mind about the world, that's when you are much more likely to experience, see, and observe the truth. Because it's not about your idea that you had for so long about that person or that thing, right? All right. So perception is a medium by which ignorance is brought to knowledge. Yet the perception must be without deceit. So when he says that the perception must be without deceit, it really means that anything that blocks your perception, your prejudices, your likes, your dislikes, your hopes, your fears, your past, your future, all of those things create deceit in your perception. You don't see the truth, right? So really, ultimately, perception must be without deceit. So you can't have any of that other stuff in front of you that you're seeing through. This is why they say looking through rose-colored glasses. You've all heard that before. Looking through rose-colored glasses, because you're not able to see the truth. So your perception must be without deceit. Otherwise, it becomes a messenger of ignorance rather than a helper in the search for truth. Take a deep breath. On our path of spiritual awakening, there isn't really a path, but I'm just going to say that. Spiritual work is not about adding another thing. It's about removing. Because the truth is, I was going to say the truth is out there. Too much UFO stuff. The truth is here. But we're so separated from it that we have all these things in front of it, like I said. So our work is to be able to perceive without deceit. To perceive without deceit, so you can see the truth, you can experience the truth, and the truth is love, the truth is God, the truth is flow. And I'm sure you've had experiences like that in your life, maybe for moments, maybe for days, maybe you're having it right now. I don't know. But this is what happens. Remember, the mind is our greatest tool. So when we can use our mind to shift our perception within the illusion, then you're going to begin to wake up. And then you're going to begin to say, well, what do I really want? Right? Because remember, this is all about what do you want? Lightness or dark? Ignorance or knowledge? All of those glasses, those rose-colored glasses we have in front of us, make it very hard to know what you really do want. Because a lot of times we're asking for the truth, but what we really want is an illusion. We really want something else. That's what our egoic mind is telling us, right? The search for truth is but the honest searching out of everything that interferes with truth. The search for truth is but the honest searching for everything that interferes with truth. It's exactly what I just said. My likes, my dislikes, my labels, my anger, my guilt, my sacrifice, my I'm deserving and people aren't giving me what I deserve. All that stuff is deceit, and it's not helping you at all to come to the truth. Truth is. It can neither be lost nor sought nor found. It is there, wherever you are, being within you. Truth is, it can neither be lost nor sought nor found. So we're looking for the truth, meaning we're seeking the truth, but you never lost it, and you can't really find it. Remember, enlightenment is not a process of, well, it is a process of waking up, but it's a process of recognition, to recognize what is already here. What's already here. And what's already here is the truth. And what's already here is love. What's already here is compassion and joy and flow. Right? I'm going to read the rest of this kind of quickly, okay? So, truth is, it can neither be lost, nor sought, nor found. So you can't find the truth. You already have the truth. You can't seek the truth because there's nowhere to go. You can't find the truth because it's like saying, I found my hand. You can't. Truth is. God is. It's very important that you get that. So, if you hide it, it becomes unreal. And if you hide it, it becomes unreal to you because you hid it and surrounded it with fear. So you think that the truth is somewhere other than where you are because you've surrounded it with fear. Under each cornerstone, this is such a great line. Listen to this, it's so good. Under each cornerstone of fear on which you have erected your insane system of belief, the truth lies hidden. Oh my God, that is the greatest thing in the world. Under each cornerstone of fear on which you have erected your insane system of belief, the truth lies hidden. Do you know why I have been doing this for 38 years? Because of something like this. It states it so clearly. Your insane belief system is holding back your discovery of lifting up. It's kind of like when you have a brick and you lift up a stone and all the ants and spiders come out. It's just like that. But you don't see it because you keep piling the bricks on top of it. It is so, so good. Yet you cannot know this For by hiding truth in fear, you see no reason to believe that the more you look at the fear, the less you see it, and the clearer what it conceals becomes. This is really big. This is like what I always say to my students, and you probably heard me say it before. Look down, Dorothy. Dorothy was given the ruby slippers at the beginning of the movie, of the story. Those ruby slippers are her truth. They're the ticket back home. But what does she do? She runs around trying to find her way home. Look down. Pick up the rock. The truth is right here. It's nowhere else. Because if the truth isn't in Dorothy's slippers, it is nowhere. It's nowhere. Truth is not once you get spiritually woke. Truth is not once you get happy. Truth is not once all your problems get fixed. Truth is right here. But our insane belief system keeps us from going, oh shit, fuck, God damn it, it's right here. Take a deep breath. So when you ask yourself, what do you really want? You got to think about all this stuff. Only love is real. And if you want only love, you will see only love. Lauren says, yes, it's hard to ask for God's will for my life because my ego tells me that it won't be what I want. And that's a huge, huge thing. I'll talk about that in a second. It's powerful. I feel you've helped take a big step. I'm so glad, Adine. I'm so glad. Okay, I want to go to Lauren's point here. It's so hard to ask for God's will for my life because my ego tells me that it won't be what I want. One of the biggest things, I'm going to tell you so clearly and so straightforward right now, one of the biggest perceptual shifts you can ever have in your life is one of the things that Jesus teaches us in the Course in Miracles is my will and God's are one. My will and God's are one. So when you know that your will and God's are one, you just have to let go and you just have to do, right? The ego is like, oh, well, God, I have a student that's always like, oh, I always had such a hard time with this because I didn't want to give my life over to God. That's not what we're talking about. God is your life. So she was like, she came from more of a fundamentalist background. And so she had this idea that if I really followed the flow, followed life, followed God inside, because of what she was conditioned with, she's like, oh God, he's going to make me go to live in the middle of Africa and work with starving people. Because that's what she was given in her reality. Until she realized, oh my God, when doing the work, God would never, ever, ever. First of all, God's not a person. God's not a he. God's not a him. God is life force that is love and flow, right? So why would that ever make you do something you don't want to do? It's love. It's like saying, okay, let's look at Max down there. My will is that he become a ditch digger. And then I go, I don't want to be a ditch digger. I don't want to be a ditch digger. I want to be on Broadway. But I give my life over to God and go, okay, I'll just be a ditch digger. I'll just be a ditch digger because that's what God wants. That is not at all what Jesus is teaching us of God in the Course of Miracles. At all. It's not it. Your will and God's is one. If you want joy through a relationship, if you want joy through a trip, if you want adventure through a relation, I don't know what it is. Your will and God's is one. But here's the deal. What we think we want is usually not what we want. Because what we want, listen to me very carefully, what in general, what we think we want the relationship, the money, the vacation, the whatever. We want it because we think we don't already have it. And we want the thing that the thing is going to give us. It's going to give me relaxation. I'm going on a trip in a couple of weeks. And I'm very aware that my ego wants to make a big deal out of it. But I have to stay in the moment because I know that whatever I want out of the trip, I already have. You know what I mean? I want relaxation. I want adventure. I want culture. But there's nothing wrong with that. So what your will and God's is one. So God probably, it's just such a hard thing because there's no old man in the sky trying to say, okay, get Max to Paris. No, I have the vibrational Paris. Whoa, my soul lights up, right? And so God's like, okay, Max is going to go to Paris. You understand? It's not like he's going to be like, oh, I better make him go to a really horrible place. That doesn't happen. This is actually really big. Your will and God's are one. There's not an old man in the sky going, well, in order to be a good person, they better go suffer. No. Take a deep breath. So what do you really want?